Joint National Campaign Coordinator.
Colleagues, friends, brothers and sisters, welcome to Event City here in Manchester to launch the Labour Party General Election 2017 campaign. What a wonderful city, full of wonderful people. And I've got to say, I'm terribly excited about the general election. I'm terribly excited about the policies which Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party are rolling out in 2017. You know, I'm so proud and so privileged. I was a coal miner in the coal mines of the Northeast. What a fantastic job it was. Great solidarity, great camaraderie, friendship. And I'm really privileged to be Joint National Campaigns Coordinator with my good friend Andrew Gwynne. And I'm also very proud to be part of Jeremy Corbyn's shadow cabinet. These colleagues are the future of a very bright new dawn with the Labour Party. Listen, this election on 8th of June is extremely critical, colleagues. It isn't complex. It isn't in any way rocket science. But it's about serving the many and not the few, as you see on some of the boards. It's about justice. It's about equality and fairness across our communities. This election is about transforming our society, making people's lives better in this country. Colleagues, we cannot simply continue down the World Trade Tory path where a few at the very top take the spoils and the rest of the country struggles to carve out their way in the world. It's got to change. An election is about the future of the many and not the few. Building a more equal society, a fairer society, a better society for all. And you know, I'm ashamed at times to see how this country has fallen into the state it actually is. We're the 6th richest economy in the world. I want no lectures of anybody telling us we haven't got the finances to look after those at the bottom. I don't want anybody kidding me about the wealth of this nation. In the last 12 months, the top 1,000 richest people in this country increased their wealth by £83 billion, whilst 1 million plus people use food banks simply to exist. No lectures on the wealth of this nation. We've seen the National Health Service brought to its knees, with staff undervalued, with the children left in corridors, or indeed using chairs for beds. We all seen that horrendous photograph in the Daily Mirror where we had this little baby in a critical condition in hospital, lying on 2 patio chairs pushed together. Colleagues, it's got to change. We've seen the schools, we've seen our schools under attack with the least well-off seeing the biggest cuts, and the Prime Minister pursuing a wasteful and divisive academy and grammar school programme. And we will not stand by and allow this to happen. We're seeing the world of work change beyond recognition, with a secure job now the stuff of dreams for many people, with 1 million people on 0-hour contracts. Colleagues, we will ban 0-hour contracts. We're seeing a rise in poverty across the board, with child poverty, with pensioner poverty, with fuel poverty, all soaring. We hear harrowing stories about children, kids, babies at school, putting their arms up and asking to go to the toilet, and then visiting the cloakroom to get the sandwiches out somebody else's packed lunch. We hear the harrowing stories of kids, our future, raiding the refrigerators in the schools instead of being fed properly like this party promises. This cannot be allowed to continue. It's 2017, and the Labour Party will stand up for it no more, colleagues. It doesn't have to be this way. Politics is about choices. And this election offers our party a golden opportunity. It offers a chance to offer the British people a programme that will improve their lives and make our country a better place to live. The manifesto is bold, it's imaginative, and it's distinct. It's a great Labour Party manifesto. It seeks to excite the young people. It seeks to protect Sure Start and sharing school funding is maintained, giving everybody a hot, nutritious meal at school, restoring the education maintenance allowance and university bursaries. For the older people, we're ensuring that the pensions triple lock will be maintained. Free bus passes and winter fuel allowance will be maintained. Properly funding of the NHS and social care. And what's really important for the old people is tackling the epidemic of loneliness. These are guarantees from Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party. You know, we can do better for people in work as well. Giving our workforce a rise in the living wage to its real level. I've mentioned banning 0-hour contracts and ensuring workers have a voice in the workplace. We can do better for our public services, and we ensure that the staff who are currently undervalued, overstretched, not only get a pay rise, but the resources to do their jobs properly. Who saw Theresa May on the BBC only last week? I was amazed. She was asked, is it fair that nurses have had a 14% pay cut since 2010 and are having to use food banks? And she responded by saying the reason why nurses are using food banks is extremely complex. It's not complex. It's because they haven't got enough money to feed themselves and feed their families. And that must end, comrades. You know, when you want to change, when we want to change the political landscape for good, when we're looking to change politics in the best interests of everyone, when we're up against the might of the establishment, they'll do whatever it takes to cling on to their unchecked powers. And we'll all experience setbacks as individuals and as a party. But we'll get knocked down, but we've got to get back up again. dust ourselves down and get back into this fight for government. We might be down at times, as I say, dust yourselves down. There's a fight to be had. You know, we've got a great political movement. In this movement, the Labour and the trade union movement was born in struggle. They don't call it the struggle for nothing. And we understand the challenges ahead. Never forget the sacrifices that our predecessors made to deliver the institutions and freedoms we now enjoy. And remember, things can be different. It doesn't have to be this way. No one should be held back. And we leave no one behind. Colleagues, we have a duty. We have a moral duty. We have a political obligation to communicate and articulate our messages, our policies in every town, every city, every village here in the UK. We must speak to people door to door in whatever capacity we can. Anybody who wants to help can text the number on the screen, supposed to be behind me now, you see? Colleagues, I'm concluding quite simply by saying, let's mobilise and win a future for all. Let's organise. Let's win the hearts and the minds of our people and deliver a fairer, equal society for the many and not the few. Onwards and upwards. Thank you. Thank you. Colleagues, thank you. Colleagues, thank you so much. Colleagues, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Julie Hesmond-Halsh. Julie is the activist best known for Corrie and more recently Broadchurch and Happy Valleys. Julie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Right, well, full of that. Brilliant. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I feel incredibly humbled and honoured to be here today at the launch of the Labour Party general election campaign in this amazing city with its rich history of culture, of industry, of protest, of struggle and resistance. When Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the party 18 months ago, I can honestly say that in my adult life I had never felt as excited and exhilarated by party politics. For me, it felt like a moment when the Labour Party and its core values and principles would finally be in line with my own deeply held socialist beliefs about equality, justice and peace. At the time, on the campaign trail, I said that I felt like I was part of a new and exciting mass movement of people who gave a toss about stuff. Well, this is our moment. This is our chance. And from tomorrow, we have 30 days. 30 days to turn this around. 30 days to be on the right side of history. 30 days to take our message into the homes and the hearts and the minds of people who have been long disenfranchised and disengaged with politics, thinking that we're all the same. We emphatically are not. We have 30 days to create the opportunity for a fairer, better, more equal society, and 30 days to save our NHS. Now is the time to put everything else aside, to stand up for what you believe in your hearts and souls, to get out onto the streets, get this message across loud and clear. Let's turn this mass movement into a government, a country, a society that truly gives a toss about stuff. And now, everyone, please give a warm and riotous Manchester welcome to a man who has dedicated his life to giving a toss about other people, Jeremy Corbyn.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Julie, for that fantastic introduction, and to you and Ian for that fantastic welcome here to Manchester today. And it's fantastic, we're launching our election campaign here in Manchester. Manchester shows the way in many, many things. One it showed last Thursday was by electing Andy Burnham as the Mayor of Greater Manchester. And can I, Andy, Thank you. What a fantastic overview. Thank you. Give me a wave. Andy will be a great mayor, but just think how much more Andy will be able to achieve if he's working with a Labour government committed to the many, not the few. Andy, thanks. Congratulations on your election, and the people of Manchester are lucky to have you as their mayor. Well done, Andy. We have 4 weeks. We have 4 weeks to take our message to the voters to convince them Britain can be better. It can be transformed. It doesn't have to be like this. We can transform Britain into a country that, instead of being run for the rich, is one where everyone can lead richer lives. And I mean richer in every sense. Richer because all of us have potential to fulfill, family to support, interests to pursue. Richer when that potential that is there in all of us is not held back. Because there is no doubt this country is being held back. If your children aren't getting the education they deserve because the class sizes are too high, then your children are being held back. If you're a young couple or anyone trying to get a home and can't make a home because rent and house prices are too high, then you're being held back. If you've worked hard all your life, but you can't pursue your dreams of your retirement because you're supporting your family well into their adulthood, then you too are being held back. But Britain is a rich country, the sixth richest country in the world. We caught a glimpse of that wealth only 2 days ago, when Rupert Murdoch's Sunday Times published its rich list. In the last year, Britain's 1,000 richest people have seen their wealth rise by 14% to £658 billion. That is 6 times the total budget of our National Health Service. Imagine the outcry if public sector workers decided to put in for a 14% pay rise. Just imagine it. But it's no surprise that the richest have got even richer after the tens of billions the Tories have handed them in tax cuts. That's what we mean when we say the system is rigged for the rich. So, thanks for making that clear, Mr. Murdoch. And so I don't know if Rupert Murdoch plans to give us any other help during the election campaign, but we're grateful for that information. In fact, I'm more likely expecting hostility. Our challenge to a rigged system is bound to meet hostility. Change always involves taking on vested interests. And there is a real danger that the Tories' scaremongering and spin machine will make some people settle for less than they should, resign themselves to things the way they are, underestimating just how many more burdens the Tories could impose if their mission to rig the system for the rich isn't halted. The stakes are very high. We know from last week's local elections how big the challenge is. We have to convince the sceptical and undecided they're not sure which way to turn. Who can blame them? People are alienated from politics and politicians. Our Westminster system is broken and our economy is rigged. Both are run in the interests of the few. Labour is under attack because we are standing up to the elites who are determined to hijack Brexit and pay even less tax and take even more of the wealth that we all create. Labour is under attack because we're standing up to the corporate interests plundering our National Health Service. How much more will be privatised if the Tories get another 5 years? We're drawing a line under decades of privatisation, from energy to rail to health to social care. And that privatisation has made some people very rich indeed. but it's not delivered richer lives for the majority of our people. In the coming days, we'll be setting out our plan to transform Britain with an upgraded economy run for the many, not the few. Theresa May thinks she can dodge the Tory record by claiming she wants to build a fairer Britain, that she cares about working people. Does she think people will forget how the Tories have actually treated working people? It was this Tory leader who sat alongside David Cameron in government for 6 years. She was with him when they introduced the bedroom tax. What is remotely fair about the bedroom tax? What was fair about racking up tuition fees? Or taking benefits away from people with disabilities? Or about closing a wonderful Labour achievement, our Sure Start centres around the country? Or starving our schools of the cash they need to pay teachers and all those that work in those wonderful teams in our schools? Or opening up the National Health Service to be feasted on by profiteers? Just in case their talk of fairness doesn't wash, they have another card to play. That this election is all about Brexit and who can play at being toughest with Brussels. Labour will not allow the Tories to put their party interests ahead of the real national interest, the interests of the people of this country. This election isn't about Brexit itself. That issue has been settled. The question now is, what sort of Brexit do we want? And what sort of country do we want Britain to be after that? Labour wants a jobs-first Brexit, a Brexit that safeguards the future of Britain's vital industries. A Brexit that paves the way to a genuinely fairer society, protecting human rights and an upgraded economy. Labour's plan to transform Britain will mean a big deal to upgrade the economy, new infrastructure to support the industries of the future, and an investment in training and skills to equip our workforce to compete globally. It also means rebuilding our National Health Service and social care services with the funding they need. It means building 1 million homes to rent and buy. And it means tackling the scandal of air pollution, which contributes to 40,000 deaths per year. We won't be paying lip service to working people. We will introduce a comprehensive programme to strengthen rights at work, make sure new jobs are good jobs, and end the race to the bottom in pay conditions and job security. Low pay and insecurity have spread like an epidemic under the Tories. Labour will invest in skills, jobs, and take action to enforce a floor under employment standards right across the board, so that all jobs are decent jobs, so that all workers, the true wealth creators in our society, can play their part in transforming Britain and benefit fully from it. That's why we're fighting to win this election, so we can transform Britain for the many and not the few. When we win, the British people win. The nurse. The people win. The nurse, the teacher, the small trader, the carer, the builder, the office worker. They all win. Labour is offering a real choice, a real alternative to the rigged system holding us back and to the Conservatives who are running our country down. The economy is still rigged in favour of the rich and powerful. When Labour wins, there'll be a reckoning for those who thought they could get away with asset stripping our industry, crashing our economy through their greed, and ripping off workers and consumers. When did the Conservatives, David Cameron, George Osborne, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, ever stand up to their financial backers and demand our money back? Instead, they make others foot the bill. They make our nurses, our carers, our soldiers, our disabled, our young people trying to get a home of their own, our elderly looking for dignity in retirement, and those working hard to get on. They make them foot the bill. This makes me angry, and I know what makes the people of Britain angry too. So, today, I say to tax cheats, the rip-off bosses and the greedy bankers, enough is enough. In this election, Labour is standing for decent jobs, investment for the future, shared wealth creation, security at work, affordable homes for all, and a fully funded National Health Service and schools. Training and skills, an end to rip-off privatisation, fair taxation, and a fairer, more equal country. As we set out our detailed plans for Britain, the scale of the change we're offering will become very clear. Let's turn our country round. Let's come together to transform Britain. Together, we can win. For the many, not the few. So, don't wake up on the 9th of June to see celebrations from the tax cheats, the press barons, the greedy bankers, Philip Green, the Southern Rail directors, and crooked financiers that take our wealth and have got away with it because they are the party they own. That is, the Conservative Party would have won. We have 4 weeks to ruin their party. We have 4 weeks to have a chance to take our wealth back. We have 4 weeks to show what kind of country we are. We know that the people of this country don't pass by on the other side. That is the principle we will take into government. so that we can unlock every person's potential and everyone can make their contribution, their best contribution to our society. We have 4 weeks to win and transform Britain for the many, not the few. We must seize that chance today and every day until June the 8th. Thank you very much.
Hush not, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up toward your destination.
Ready? Over that way.
Though you may find from time to time complication. Bite your lip and take the trip. Though there may be wet road ahead and you cannot slip, just move on up. For peace you'll find into the steeple of beautiful people where there's only one kind. So hush not, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Move on up and keep on wishing. Remember your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey rumors people say, but you can pass the test. Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it. Just move on up. Move on up. We move on up. Watch out, but just move on up.